First and foremost, I want to start this off by saying thank you to everyone who sent in any kind of videos, footage, whatever of the Toho characters. I don't think a lot of people summoned for these units, or just no one really got lucky, because it was very few entries this time. It could also be not a lot of people care about it, which is, fair enough. Reimu, which is, I would say, probably the star of the show, at least for this first part of the crossover. Reimu is kind of like a very good overall support character. This is her entire kit right here. She really loves being with mono fire characters, but really can be used alongside any human team, which, surprise, surprise, is most of the roster. I like the barrier that she gives. I like the stats up. I also really enjoy the passive mechanic that they have, the whole BGM music playing. It's not anything too crazy, right? But it's still a cool, unique thing compared to what we usually get. But maybe a little bit weird because she does have a barrier, but she doesn't really offer damage negation, or let me say damage mitigation, apart from the attack reduction and magic damage down, which can be very useful if you are using it in the right circumstances. If you do have Reimu, one thing that I can tell you is that she's not complete unless you get her true weapon. Her true weapon allows her to start the quest with 200 art gauge right out the gate. You can instantly start art shooting for your entire team. If you're not using this, I'm telling you, you're playing it wrong. And next is Marissa. Marissa is a completely different from that of Reimu. Marissa is a actual walking hydrogen bomb if and only if you have her in the right team situations and really maximize the way she deals damage, because it's a bit different than other characters. Reimu's damage is based off of her own HP, her current HP, and that is with the super art, ladies and gentlemen. On top of this all too, you innately have 100% crit rate and super crit rate against giant bosses. And then if you have her BGM playing, which you just need to use her super art to get this BGM playing, you get 30% more damage on top of it all, so you are hitting insanely hard. Of course, she does have a bit of team play in her kit, being able to reduce the enemy's magic res and light res, but you're really using this character just for her crazy amounts of DPS. Not to mention, you do have her true art, which is able to increase her own damage against a giant boss by 200% every single time you use it. So if you use this thing, let's just say twice, and then go into your super art, Jesus Christ, dude, you're gonna be blowing up bosses left and right, especially if you're playing like Grand Crusade and you can scale your max HP to insane heights. But enough of all that, let's actually show you what these characters are doing, and we actually got a pretty good one coming in first here with Reimu. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of Reimu footage. There's not really a lot of Marissa footage. I'm going to try to find something else. And this is from the man Barin. Thanks so much for this. I appreciate that, man. This is against Water Summoners Road Stage 5. This is actually a pretty difficult stage because, if I'm not mistaken, this is against, is it Styria? Is that the Water Wilkes? And the mini boss Alvina, which can be a little bit challenging for you. Here's a team that's not completely mono fire, which is interesting. In this setup here, you're still achieving a lot with this unit. You have 2 defense slots on this team alongside the massive barrier that Reimu's able to apply. What I'm really curious to see is if we see anybody get popped very quickly, because this Styria does have a nuke, and if I'm not mistaken, this nuke does hit really hard. Not to mention H threshold mechanic is going to deal quite a bit of damage, deal some freezing and everything, but with the defense items they have, they shouldn't really have an issue. This entire team is so well formulated together because you have the 100% status res from Celia, you got the DRs and stuff like that from the defense equips, you have the massive barrier, you have more Archshin thanks to the Celia, you have Archshin from Reimu coming out. If I'm not mistaken, Rin also Archshins on the skill, but I don't know if she's using it. Actually, yes, she is, but I think she only Archshins for fire allies, if I'm not mistaken, which is, of course, 75% of the team. And then we have Xion being Xion, an absolute beast. But oh my goodness, dude, just taking her down all the way, even with type disadvantage against a boss like this, which is, I would say, an in-game level boss. It doesn't matter. Usually some of these bosses, man, you don't want to go type disadvantage against them, but with Reimu on the team, she doesn't even care. Look at the damage right here from everybody. I think I see Xion at 37 million or 27 million. There we go. Next, we have a more recent piece of content, which is the Area 6 challenge from the Human Ruins, and I think this is a bit more of a hybrid team here. I don't know. I think I saw Emperor. Yeah. So we have Young Imp, BF Emperor, Stark, and Reimu. This is definitely a pretty crazy team. We're not really running mono fire here at all, but as you see, they are making use of all of Reimu's stuff. They even use Reimu's true weapon to get BF Emperor's Archshin going right out the gate, just to really supercharge the entire team, because you don't really have to worry about Young Imp Archshin. Really the slowest one here is surprisingly BF Emperor, because Stark, once he gets going, he's good. Real quick, let me say shout out to Elo. That is the one who sent this one in. Huge shout out to you. Basically here, she's already crumbling just because of Stark's raw damage. If I'm not mistaken, he's the one who dealt all that DPS. And yeah, I mean, it just seems like Reimu's out here here doing work. And unfortunately, Stark's looking like he's getting really close to death. And I think actually, well, this is surprising that he's actually getting that close to death, considering that the DR should have popped for him, which I think it did. That's the only reason why he survived. This is definitely where you could see Reimu's barrier kind of failing a little bit, just instantly crumbling, because if you don't have any type of DR alongside that barrier, it's very easy for it to just kind of get completely twaxed. Which is why I said that I think if you do weave in the art here and there against certain stages, it will make it feel a whole lot better compared to just raw dogging it. Man, dude. Shout out to all my IBS people, Crohn's disease, whatever you got. You know, whenever you got a shit, dude, and you go in that bathroom, you are fighting for your life for like the next 30 minutes. Jesus Christ. Back to the video. We can finally show some gameplay with Marissa, and unfortunately the only thing we had was her against Emmy. Now, this is going to show some of her firepower here, but I really wish that I was able to find some footage for her in Grand Crusade or something else, because the higher you get her HP, the more damage and everything else you can expect from Marissa. I know some people may not like this character too much. They may think that she's kind of just boring. She's not really all that because she is just a huge beat stick, but I feel like this character is going to be really sought after, especially for everybody in the GC community. I know not everybody likes Grand Crusade, but for those that do, I think you have a new all-star here. You don't have to keep using Summer Sistina unless you just want to. Overall, good stuff here. Did some good damage and everything. I really wish that I just were able to see this, like I said, in GC or something else. That is literally all the footage that I got sent to me, chat. There is nothing else, unfortunately. So we're just gonna have to rock with that, at least for this showcase. I didn't get any of the Toho characters. I even did my half off, so I don't have any footage of my own, but maybe next time we'll have a bit more. I also want to say that for Toho Part 2, we'll be doing the same style of crossover showcase video where you guys can send me footage and I can showcase it in a video. And if we do pull somebody from Toho, I will also be using my own gameplay alongside any footage you guys send. By the way, thank you all again for everyone who sent me some footage. Huge shout out to all you. And if you enjoyed this video, I haven't made check out this video popping on the screen right now. Great piece of content, guarantee you'll love it. I'll meet you over there, but before you leave, don't forget to drink water.